Today we're going to be showing you my crossbreeding update. Hello guys, what is going on? My name is Mark and welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn more about shrimp colonies and other shrimp related stuff, please hit that subscribe button and bell notifications so you don't miss anything. It's been quite a while since we did any kind of shrimp update on these tanks, and I want to do specifically my crossbreeding. We're going to have a look and see some of the results. What I'm going to do is I'm going to film with the GoPro like this, and I'm probably going to put up in the corner some of the shrimp as they have grown, because specifically in some tanks, right, you will see a big difference. Like this one for example. This tank I am not culling hard enough. Right, and it's very visible because I still have lots and lots of small tangerine tigers. Okay, so this is something I will fix today because it is affecting the growth of a lot of the other shrimp. Like lots and lots of the Taiwan bees that are in here are staying small. Right, so like these ones here, these ones are probably about 2 months old, 2 to 3 months old, and they're still tiny. These ones are under 0.5 centimeters, which is really, really small. Okay, apart from that, I can see the tangerine tigers have crossbred quite a bit. Most of the first generation are almost at that size where they're able to breed again, but I need to thin the herd. I have literally thousands of tangerine tiger crosses in here, and sprinkled in amongst them all are like lots and lots of baby Taiwan bees, like here. They're all over the place, the baby Taiwan bees, but when you really look at the gravel like this, just in this little square here, I haven't fed them today, right? And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So you get the gist. Just in that space there, 30 shrimp, okay? And it's the same on the plants there, everywhere in here. So that is something I'll have to fix today, because if you have too many shrimp in one tank, the other shrimp that you want to grow simply won't grow. Now, I'm not sure if it's just down to a lack of food, or if it's like a lack of growing space, or if it's a lack of filtration, because the filtration's struggling to cope with the numbers, and it could be something in the water that's preventing the shrimp from growing bigger. Okay, so but I think personally it's just they're overcrowded a little bit. So that is the story with this tank. Okay, this is one of the tanks I have recently done again. I haven't physically taken the gravel out, but I've tied it up quite a bit because it was becoming just full of algae, right? So this one is mostly horn water in here. It has a pot mini filter at the back, you can probably just see there. And the shrimp that are now in this are my steel blues. There's a couple of steel blues in here, and there's one, what would you call it now? It's like a Missouri blue bolt. It just has the black head. So this tank is set up for me breeding Missouri blue bolt type shrimp. Now this one that you see in the picture there is blue steel. So that is what this tank is aiming for now. I've had quite a lot of success with my zebra pinto blue steel cross, so I'm going to concentrate now on the blue steels because I really don't have many of them. I think I have like 5 to 10 of that type of shrimp left when I really want more, so that's why this tank is set up. Let's go to this tank. This one has had a little bit of a redo. I'm not sure if I showed you guys me taking out shrimp from here before. I took out about 15-20 zebra pinto babies. And as I've been taking more and more of the stuff out of this tank, because basically, guys, what's happened with this tank is it has become full of this type of string algae. Now this type of string algae is a royal pain in the butt because it is really, really hard to remove, right? When I mean hard to remove, I mean it breaks up basically when you touch it. It is the only tank I have where this type of algae does this, and it makes it very, very hard to remove. Last week I took out about another 5 zebra pinto babies from here, and they were cross transferred into the tank over this side. But when I was doing it, guys, I realized that I still had way more shrimp in here than I thought. Okay, so this tank meant to have been emptied, right? And just in my view I could see another one here, there's another one here, there's a male darting around the back there, There's actually a really beautiful male behind this ball here as well, so it is imperative that when you change shrimp from tank to tank that you give them a chance to come out, right? Because last week when I moved a lot of these shrimp, I thought I'd gotten all of them, and there's still 5 or 6 shrimp in here. Right, so this tank, my plans for this are, I'm going to make this into like a project red tank. I'm going to try and breed some red zebra pinto in here, and I'm going to try and do it on my own as well. I'm not going to buy the shrimp because that would be so easy for me to do just to buy them and be like any other shrimp tank, right? But I want to educate myself. It's also part of the fun as well, guys. But you know, when you only have so many small tanks, you could so easily just buy them, right? But I want to breed them myself because I think that'd be cool to see. It would be cool to see the variations we get as well. So for me to do this in this tank specifically, I'm going to choose one of my zebra pinto males that is what I would call a poor grade galaxy, right? So I have some of them in this tank here that I'm going to show you in a minute, because these ones have turned out absolutely fantastically for F1s. We're going to take out a poor grade galaxy F1, we're going to put it in here, right, and then I'm going to add some wine red Taiwan bees to this tank, right? And specifically I'm going to look for a female wine red Taiwan bees, right? When you cross a female Taiwan red bee with a zebra pinto, a pure grade galaxy zebra pinto in our case, we should see more zebra pintos, right? But there should be the off chance that our female will produce a red one. You see this big male that's just swimming to the front here? Isn't he beautiful as well? So we should get the off chance of us getting the odd red zebra pinto, right? Because when you do crossbreeding, right, guys, you guys will all know this. Maybe I haven't talked about it before, but black tends to be the dominant color. Okay, when you're crossbreeding, like if you breed a crystal red, for example, if you breed a crystal red and a crystal black, for me specifically, because they were Michelins before, I always get a mix of both. Right? But if you were doing it first time yourself, probably 90 to 100% of the time you would get black shrimp, and then consequentially after you, maybe like in future generations, you would get the odd red one. That's how we got crystal reds to start with. Okay, so the tank I showed you above with the tangerines, that was the complete opposite of this tank. That tank above is too full of shrimp, and this one is the opposite, and you can see the effect it's had here, guys. Right, I'm going to show you some macro footage of this as well, but you can see these are the ones that we bred from the steel blue and the what they call the zebra pintos, the black and white one, right? You see these ones look like zebra pintos, but on a lot of them you can see there's little dots on the head, and there's a little bit of dots on the undercarriage as well. Hopefully we'll be able to pick that up with the macro footage on my other camera, and that classes them as kind of like poor grade galaxies. Okay, not all of them, some of them are still zebra pintos, but the ones that you can see that are dotted on the face and on the undercarriage where the black is, this is where they tend to be poor grade galaxies. That is how they are made, right? So these ones are still F1 as well, so I'm hoping in the next generation that comes from these ones that we shall get some really interesting shrimp. Now that should be happening sooner rather than later, because I actually have a couple of the females in here are buried, and they have been buried for a little while. So every day I'm looking in here and I'm looking for babies, and I know eventually I'm going to see them. It's just a matter of time before we do. And another thing, guys, I want to mention is if you're wanting to breed lots and lots of shrimp, right, a good idea is to get yourself something that is a fast growing stem plant like this. See the hornwort? You will notice I have it in nearly all of my tanks now. Right, in some tanks it does great, in other tanks it seems to grow a little bit weird, and I'm not sure if that's a pH issue, but you can probably see the difference here. Look on the right hand side, it is lush green thick growth. Look on the left hand side, it is growing like stringy, and it has quite a bit of algae in amongst it as well. I'm actually taking this algae out of this daily. Let me show you up here for a second. Look at this moss as an example. I remove the algae from this every single day and it just keeps on growing, right? So I've stuck hornwort in all of my tanks. Look up there as well, you could probably see them. So I have hornwort in all of my tanks now, and it grows differently in every tank, right? Look over here. See, it's growing nice, thick leaves and stems on here. But then over here, this is the same tank, and you can see there that it's growing thin and stringy, and it has a little bit of algae growing in amongst it. So I'm not sure why it does this. I'm not sure if it's just like a phase the plant goes through when you put it in a new tank, or if this is just something this plant does. I would imagine this plant would be something like it does really, really well in high light, because I've noticed it grows really thick and quite coarse the closer it gets to the surface. You can see it there. Okay, so maybe it could be that this is because it wants to free itself from bad places. If you understand what I'm saying, like it could like disintegrate if it is in a poor position to float somewhere else. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's show. If you want to learn more about shrimp colonies and other shrimp related stuff, start now by hitting that subscribe button and bell notifications so you don't miss anything. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Take it away, patrons. Bye.